I'm just going to ring the bell 3 times to just help us find our way into the practice, maybe taking a moment to follow the sound of the bell and really just use that as an invitation to bring your attention inwards into your own body, away from the busyness of life, from the busyness of the mind, as best as possible. And then just begin to notice by noticing whatever position you've taken, however you're lying on the ground, on the mat. Is your body stretched out completely, or do you have a bend in your knee? Just take a moment to see what gives comfort or what brings comfort into the body in this moment. And then just maybe beginning by taking a deep, long, and full in-breath, maybe even holding the breath in for a moment. And then a very slow out-breath, feeling the sensations of letting go. Letting go, letting go. And then breathing in long again, fully taking in life force, really taking in a full sip of breath, holding the breath a little bit longer this time. And then exhaling again, a complete exhale, feeling the sensations of letting go, any tensions leaving the body and mind. And then we'll do this one more time, taking an extra long in-breath all the way in, holding the breath on the top of the in-breath a little bit longer yet. And then a very slow out-breath, again, just feeling the sensations of letting go, letting any tension leave the body as best as possible. And then just allowing the breath to find its own natural rhythm for the time being. Take a moment just to notice the quality of the breath it's just breathing itself. Is it rather shallow or deep? Smooth or feels a little bit labored? I'm just noticing the quality of the breath. Feeling the in-breath. Feeling the out-breath. And maybe you can notice where it's easiest for you to feel the sensations of the breath inside your body. Maybe the rise and fall of your belly or chest. Maybe there's a little bit of a tingling or swirling in the back of the throat. Cool air entering the nostrils. Warmer air leaving the nostrils. Or maybe there's a sense of the whole body breathing. So letting your attention settle onto that place in the body where you can easily connect with the breath. And just using this breath as an anchor to help you stay grounded and present in this moment. In the next moment. In the moment after that. And perhaps breathing with a sense of contentment, of well-being that you might feel with every breath, just knowing how we can be grateful for each breath that keeps us alive. And then eventually for yoga, we can begin to deepen the breath. So maybe when the next in-breath comes, just really breathing your belly big and then lifting the breath through the side body, through the ribs, all the way up into the chest, feeling the chest lifting. And then exhaling, beginning at the chest, lowering through the ribs, all the way down back into the belly, maybe even squeezing the belly button in towards the spine to just squeeze out any stale air. And then beginning again, belly, ribs, chest, exhaling chest, ribs, belly. And with each in-breath, you can feel an opening and expansion in the body. And with the out-breath, again, a sense of letting go, a sense of easing, a sense of softening throughout the body. And just enjoying the breath in this way for a couple more rounds. And then when the next in-breath comes, we can all hug the knees into the chest, just hugging it in as best as you can towards the heart. And feeling a nice release in the lower back as you do that, relaxing the shoulders and back. And then keeping the knees in as best as you can, just release your arms out to the side and down onto the ground, having the palms facing down. And we'll take another in-breath here, feeling the knees coming in even a little closer towards the chest. And then as you exhale, let the legs come over to the left side, slowly and mindfully. As you breathe in, bring your legs back to the center, bring them all the way up. And then as you exhale, over to the right side. You can always turn your head in opposite direction if you wish. Inhaling back to center, the head is at center. And then exhaling the knees over to the left while your head turns over to the right. So just feel that nice opening in the whole spine as you keep moving from side to side in this way, wringing out any toxins for the body and mind with each turn to the right or to the left as you're twisting the spine. And just moving at your own pace, just directed by the breath. So it's the breath moving you from side to side. And we'll do one more round on each side. And then eventually we're all going to settle over on the right side. So the knees over to the right, the head turning over to the left. And just relaxing through the hips, through the legs. You might want to have your palms facing up now as you turn your head to the left. And just slowly feeling a softening through the hips, through the legs, releasing any tension from that area of the body. And then just guiding the breath, fully breathing in, completely breathing out. And feeling the in-breath beginning in the belly, rising through the ribs into the chest. And as you exhale, you might feel more of a sensation of release through the left hip and the buttock. Just relaxing the whole body as best as you can. relaxing the shoulder blades down into your mat. Deep and full breaths. And then on an in breath, just first bring your left leg up back to center and then the right. As you exhale, slowly guide your legs all the way over to the left now. And when they arrive, you can turn your head over to the right and just soften into this pose, into this twist. The breath is still deep and full on the inhale, and then complete out breaths with the exhale. Feeling a whole softening in the front of the torso, through the hips and the legs. Softening through the eyes and facial muscles. Maybe inviting again a sense of well-being, a sense of contentment into the body as you're enjoying this particular posture. And then on the in-breath, we're going to first bring the right leg back to center and then the left leg joins. Again, holding on, hugging the knees in towards the chest as best as you can. And then exhale, releasing the soles of the feet down into the mat very slowly. If you prefer, you can straighten out the legs again. You're going to see in a moment what works best for this next flow. So we're going to bring the arms overhead, all the way touching down. And then once you're there, right away though, hold on to opposite elbows with your hands so the arms are stretched out behind you, behind your back. And then we're just going to begin to rotate the arms forward, beginning on the left side, coming down sort of towards the chest in front of us, and then all the way over to the right, and then all the way back overhead, maybe even feeling the touching down into the mat in back of you. And then we're just going to continue to make big wide circles in this way with our shoulders. Going from one side over to the other. It's a nice deep shoulder opener. And letting your breath be the guide that flows you into the movement still. We'll do one more round in this direction. And as the arms come back overhead, just release them for a moment, maybe stretching out the arms behind you with the fingertips stretching away from the body, still relaxing the shoulders. Just let the arms softening for a moment. And just feeling the breath rising from the belly through the ribs into the chest. And then we'll hold on to opposite elbows again, this time going in the opposite direction, beginning over, actually begin by bringing the arms forward and just resting them on the chest, on the belly rather, for a moment. And then we're going to move the arms over to the right side as far as you can, overhead, and then all the way over to the left. And then just completing circles in this way, several more rounds, really opening the shoulders, lubricating the shoulders. And just really using this movement as a deep mindfulness practice where you're staying connected to really feeling the movement of the arms from the inside. So your attention really is inward focused. Your movement kind of serves the same purpose as the breath here, that keeps your attention present to what you're doing right now. And then just let the arms come overhead. Again, we're going to actually stretch the arms out to the side, bringing the arms all the way down so that they're both resting alongside the body. And then with the next in-breath, we're going to stretch the arms away from each other on the ground until they both meet up overhead. And then as you exhale, bring the arms forward and release them slowly back down in front of you alongside the body. Inhaling the arms out to the side, moving away from one another, all the way stretching them back. Exhale, bringing them forward again so that they can release either side alongside your body. And then again, we're just going to keep making these big, vast motions with our shoulders, our arms, a few more rounds. Moving at your own pace that feels comforting to you. And when you touch down alongside the body, just pause here for a moment. And then we're going to go the opposite direction. So we're going to, on an in-breath, lift the arms up high. Exhale, the arms spread out wide and back, letting them graze alongside the floor. Inhaling, reaching up, lifting them all the way overhead, letting them touch down. And exhale, they move out to the side along the floor until they come alongside the body again. So a couple more rounds in this way, please. Just really enjoying this big, expansive movement that you're creating with the arms and the shoulders. One last one. And then as you exhale, just bring the arms close in again alongside the side body. Have your palms facing down and just rest for a moment. Feel the lower back really rooting down into your mat. Connecting with your breath again. Just feeling the aliveness in the body for a moment, any tingling or vibrating, heat or pressure. Whatever you're noticing is there. And we're going to come into a sort of a flow leading into a bridge pose. So on an in-breath, we're going to stretch the arms up overhead again, and at the same time, lift the hips. Stretch the buttock all the way up, sort of close to the height of the knees. Let your arms release and back on your mat. And then as you exhale, bring the arms forward again. Release your buttocks and see if the buttocks and the hands can touch down at the same time, coming down at the same time. Inhaling, reaching the hips up, lifting the arms, letting the arms come down overhead. And then exhale, a slow release, everything back down. We're going to do this 3 more times at our own pace. And last one, wherever you are. This time we're going to keep the hips lifted up. You can keep your arms overhead if that feels good to you, and if it supports that you can really press into your soles of the feet to keep the hips high. But if you want to, you could also bring the arms back forward and down if that feels more supportive to your practice, or even interlace the hands behind your back and then sort of bring the shoulder blades closer to one another and back. What's important is to really press into your feet to keep your hips lifted high and just enjoying a few breaths in this bridge pose as best as you can. If you feel more like a strengthening practice, you might even lift your one leg up high, beginning with the left leg. It's up to you. You don't have to do this at all. I just want to offer some options. And then you can bring that leg down. If you lifted it, lifting the right leg. We're all just going to be here for a few more breaths. Exhale, release the foot. Wherever you are, we're going to enjoy 2 more breaths in the bridge pose, keeping the hips lifted high or maybe even a little higher than before. And then exhale, slowly with control, release the buttocks back down. And then we're going to hug the knees into the chest again, this time gently rocking from side to side, releasing any tension out of the legs, out of the back. And again, just bringing some enjoyment to this motion, enjoyment to your practice. Maybe even a soft smile can form at your mouth. It's a nice way of really helping the nervous system to relax. Just sort of a half smile. It's kind of signaling the nervous system things are okay right now. In this moment, it's all right. And as you come back to center, please release your feet back down into the mat. If you want to, you can stretch them all the way out. Maybe just take a moment to shake out the legs from side to side if that feels good. And we're going to lace our hands together in front of the body and then just lift the head off the ground so we can place the hands right behind the head. And we're going to keep our head off the ground. Let the elbows sort of relax out to the side. And then if you can, lift the left leg off the ground and just breathe into this pose. We're going to sort of have the head off the ground, maybe even the shoulders a little ways. And just imagine that you're breathing on the in-breath all the way down the left leg into the toes. And as you breathe out, the breath travels all the way up back towards the heart center. And see if you can even relax into this more challenging pose if you're experiencing it that way. Let your eyes and facial muscles stay soft. And then exhale, release the leg, release the head back down. You can keep the lace hands behind you. Just feel a big opening at your chest for a moment as you're settling back down into the earth. Just breathing into the lungs that are being stretched as you're lying in this way. Enjoying that opening created through the whole chest area. And then gently begin to lift your head off the ground. Again, lifting the shoulders away. So we're going to stretch the right leg up, just sort of halfway off the ground or as best as you can. And again, breathing into the right leg now, imagining the in-breath traveling all the way down the right leg into the foot. And as you're exhaling from the foot all the way up the leg back into the heart. Deep and full breaths. One more in-breath if you can. And then exhale, release, just relaxing down again as the head releases, the leg releases. Just enjoying a few more breaths in this position with that open chest, stretched open lungs, softening into your posture. And then slowly release the hands from underneath, hug your knees into the chest. We're just going to rock from side to side a couple more times. As you come back to center, we're just going to release the feet down into the ground one more time. This time we're all going to keep our knees bent, the arms alongside the body, and just briefly lift your buttocks so that you can place your hands underneath the buttocks. Sit your buttocks down onto the hands. And we're just going to do a supported shoulder stand today. So as best as you can, lift your legs up, maybe at first with bent knees, and then stretch them all the way up towards the sky. On an inhale, we're going to bend into the knees again. Exhale, lifting the legs all the way up. Inhale, bending the knees. Exhale, stretching the legs up. Inhale, bend. Exhale, up. Last time, inhale, bend. And then exhale, stretch the legs all the way up. Make sure that you really press the soles of the feet up towards the sky. If it feels good, you can maybe even bring the legs out to the side or make some scissor movements, bringing a little bit of playfulness into your supported shoulder stand, maybe moving one leg back and then the other. Whatever feels right to you. Just be playful with your legs. If they want to be still, that's totally fine too. And then we'll all come into stillness for a few more rounds of breath. You can have your legs out to the side or closer together, whatever feels right. Feeling your breath still moving up the torso from the belly through the ribs into the chest and all the way back down on the out breath. I'm just feeling the sensations created in the legs. Maybe there's a tingling, a vibrating, keeping your legs as relaxed as you can. One more in breath. And then exhale, hug your knees back into the chest. Release your hands, rocking from side to side, massaging the lower back. And then place your hands behind your thighs. We're going to begin to rock up and down a few times, massaging the whole back now. And just really bringing some enjoyment into this movement, a sense of contentment, of well-being, being a little bit playful with your practice in this way. And then eventually we'll all meet in a cross-legged position, sitting up. If cross-legged somehow doesn't feel comfortable to you, you can also have your legs stretched out, whatever is right for your practice today, whatever serves your well-being. And we're just going to begin by resting our hands on the knees, maybe pressing the hands down a little bit so you can lift your spine, lift your chest. Relax the shoulders back and down, feeling that nice opening at the heart. And just taking a few breaths here so that the mind can settle into this new posture. So today's theme in a way is more of a, moving from, sort of movement into stillness. A lot of flows leading into stillness today. So we're going to bring the hands to the heart center as we begin the next flow. And as you inhale, bring your arms out to the side and then lift them all the way up. As you exhale, twist over to the right. So left hand on right knee, right hand behind your buttocks. You can turn your head over your right shoulder and back. Inhaling back to center, arms up high overhead. The hands can touch. And then exhale, we're going to come over to the left side. Really stretching the head back as well. Inhaling back to center, lifting up high. And then exhaling over to the right side again. And so really coming into this as more of a meditative flow. If you feel comfortable, you can even close your eyes. If not, you can just let the gaze follow the hand in back of you. Whatever feels comfortable to you. But again, just really enjoying this movement, enjoying the way that the body can move in all these different ways. Inhaling up. And then the next time you twist over to the right, we're going to hold here for several breaths. So just get comfortable into the twist as best as you can. Noticing with an in-breath how you're lengthening the spine, lifting the chest. And then as you exhale, open that right shoulder up into the space behind you a little bit more. Squeezing the belly button in towards the spine. Inhaling, lifting and opening. Exhale, coming more deeply into your twist. Inhaling slowly back to center, lifting the arms up high overhead, feeling that nice opening at the chest, and then slowly opening into the twist on the left side, letting the gaze follow all the way towards the wall behind you, opening the left shoulder up towards the space behind. And then breathing a sense of wellness into your whole body and mind with each deepening of the twist with the exhales. Letting go of tension, letting go of tightness, letting go of any stories, negative stories you might have created over the course of the day. Anything that you're holding on that doesn't serve in this moment. And then inhaling slowly back to center, reaching the arms up high overhead. And then as you exhale, slowly bring your palms together down the midline, back to the chest. And just fold them for a moment over your heart center in the middle of your chest. Just tuning in, what does it feel like in there right now? Is there a sensation present, in motion? Just being curious. What's here right now inside of myself? And how can I support that by bringing a loving and kind attention to whatever is here? And then from here, we're going to release the hands. We're going to stretch the legs out wide, flexing the toes. And so you might want to bring the fingertips behind you to find some nice length through the spine, and then really flexing the toes in, pressing the thighs down, the backs of the thighs down, and already feeling that big opening and stretch even through the legs. We're going to come into a new flow leading into stillness. So we're going to stretch the arms up overhead, and then we're going to lace the fingers together except for the pointer fingers. Inhale, stretching them up, and then exhale, turning your torso over to the left leg, and then releasing the arms down, leading with the heart center. Inhaling, stretching back up, torso facing the center. Exhale, turning the navel over to the right leg and then coming into the forward fold onto that leg. Inhaling back up, deep opener, and then exhaling over to the left leg again. So again, just flowing in this way from side to side, flowing at your own pace. And again, moving as best as you can with a sense of well-being in your body, in your mind, just enjoying how you can move into all these different ways, into all these different poses and postures. And then the next time you come over the left side, just releasing the arms on the outside of the leg, relaxing the shoulders as best as you can. Maybe the hands only want to be at the height of the knees. That's perfectly fine. And just relaxing as best as you can into a forward fold here. Feeling the breath still moving from the belly, through the ribs, into the chest on the inhale. And as you exhale, maybe softening through the shoulders a little bit more. And then just slightly come out of the pose. We're going to take our left hand and bring it to the outside of the left ankle, or maybe a little bit higher. We're going to reach our right arm up overhead, really feeling that heart center lift. And then exhale, stretch your fingertips over to the left foot as best as you can, all the while leaving your heart center open. So it's more about the openness at the heart than how far you can stretch your fingertips. Relax your left shoulder down. You might want to even just relax the whole arm down to the inside of the leg if that's more comfortable, or still hold on to the outside of the leg, whatever serves your practice today. Deep, big, and full breaths. Imagining that you can really guide the breath into the right side of your body. Deep side stretch. Last in breath. And then exhale, release. For a moment, just bring your hands behind you. You can be on fingertips, just relaxing any tension out of the legs. You don't have to flex your toes for a moment. Just making everything soft, closing the eyes if it's comfortable. Just tuning in again for a moment to the sensations that are present inside your body, the aliveness there. Tingling, vibrating, pressure, heat, cold, whatever is here. And then inhaling the arms up overhead. Again, we're going to lace the hands except for the pointer fingers, really lifting the chest. Turn your navel over to the right leg And then exhale, leading with the heart. We're going to come into that same forward fold with wide legs. Maybe the hands even want to just come as far down as the knees, relaxing the chin all the way down, relaxing the shoulders. Just a gentle breath into this posture now. If it served you on the other side, you can guide your right arm all the way down on the outside of the leg towards the ankle, getting a hold of that ankle, and then lifting your left arm up into the sky. Really feel that nice opening at the heart, maybe even drawing the left shoulder more to the space behind you. And then as you exhale, let your fingertips be guided over towards the right foot, keeping your heart center open as best as you can. You might want to relax your right ear down to the right shoulder. And just breathing into this open space that you've created on the left side. Deep and full in-breaths and complete and soft out-breaths. Two more. And then exhale, release the arms, just resting on fingertips in back of you for a moment, softening the legs, softening the face, softening the shoulders. And then we'll gently bring, or rather guide, the feet together in front into sort of a butterfly position. And have your feet in close enough so that you can lace your hands around the top of the feet. So once you do that, you might be able to pull the heels in towards the body a little bit more. So you might not be able to have your chest quite as open as at least I can. But just beginning to flap the knees a little bit like a butterfly, releasing out any tension from the hips, from the legs, loosening up those joints in the hips. And then as you come back to stillness, just open your chest a little bit more. And then very slowly let your torso be guided over to the right side. So eventually you might feel your left buttock coming off the ground, releasing your right ear down towards the right shoulder. It's a little bit of a balancing pose. So if you sort of fall out of the posture, you've probably gone too far. But feel that stretch on the left side of your body and just breathe into that. And then very gently back to center. Both buttocks are evenly grounding down. Lift your chest on an in-breath. And then exhale, we'll slowly guide our body, our torsos over to the left side. You'll feel the right buttock coming off the ground, relaxing the ear down to the shoulder. So creating space in the side bodies. Feeling the lung and the chest really open as you move into the side stretch. And then inhaling back to center. Bring your feet onto the ground a little bit ahead of the knees. And we're going to stretch our arms out in front. And so while we come into this boat pose, there's going to be different options. We can just begin by shifting the weight more into the buttocks, still having our knees bent. And if you want to follow and come into the next phase, you can lift your feet off the ground, but just make sure that you can still have an opening at the chest. If you want to do the full expression, you can straighten your legs all the way out, having the feet and the legs off the ground. Or yes, holding on behind the thighs if that supports you. We're going to all be here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Cross your legs and just come into a forward fold momentarily with the arms stretched in front of you, the lower arms on the ground as best as you can. Just relaxing your chin towards the chest. Relaxing any muscles wherever they're tense or tight. And then wherever you are, however you want to get there, we're going to come up to standing from here. Just moving as mindfully as you can so that you're still connected with your whole body as you're coming up. And then we'll have our feet hip width apart. And just noticing that rooting down sensation, letting the mind get used to your body standing. Now you can have your palms facing forward, relaxing the shoulders. And just enjoying a few breaths in this mountain pose. And then on the in-breath, we're going to lift the arms up overhead. I can't do it very well because I'm in an attic space, so there's not enough room for me. So I'm going to shift for a moment while you hold your arms up. And then as you exhale, just fold forward. Let your arms relax all the way down to the feet. Inhale, coming into a flat back with the arms behind you, kind of like pilot arms. Exhale, release back down. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Lift your arms all the way up high. And then relaxing them down to the heart center again. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale, reaching up high. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold, releasing the hands down towards the ground. Inhale, flat back, pilot arms behind you. Exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Exhale, hands to the heart. 1 more in silence. And we'll all meet with the hands at our heart center from here, taking a moment just to breathe. Shoulders relaxed. And then we're going to step our right foot back into a wider stance with the back toes pivoting in towards the front. You can bring your hands to your hips and just make sure that you're guiding the torso and the navel forward so that it faces the left knee. We're going to bend into the knee, maybe scoot your foot a little bit more forward, however it's comfortable, so that you can align the knee over the ankle. And then we're going to lift the arms up high with the palms facing forward, and then just drawing the hands back behind as far as you can so you can really feel a deep stretch through the heart center. And just breathing into this version of Warrior One, drawing the shoulders back together, breathing from belly through the ribs into the chest, really enjoying this opening. And then exhaling, chest, ribs, belly. And then stay with your feet just as they are. We're going to bring the arms down and then open the arms out wide to the side, maybe even having the fingertips facing backwards to get a deeper opening at the chest, really almost drawing the hands towards one another behind you. Couple more breaths here into this deep heart opener. And then just take your arms and fold them onto your upper thigh. And if you want to, you can release your head down towards the hands, towards the knees, and just relaxing the head onto the thigh or knee with the pillow that you're making with your arms. And then slowly bringing your torso back up. We're going to step our right foot up to meet the left and just spend a moment in our mountain pose again. Drawing the attention inwards, maybe with the eyes closed. And just noticing again the aliveness inside your body. Becoming familiar with all that goes on inside of you after each movement, after each stretch. And then hands to the heart center. From here, we're going to step the left foot back, widening our stance with the back toes pivoting in towards the front. We're going to bring our hands to the hips and just make sure that we're lining the belly button over the front knee. Make sure that the knee is bent and that you're aligning the knee over the ankle. And then lift your arms up high overhead with the palms facing forward and really drawing the arms back, maybe even behind the ear, so that you can really enjoy a few breaths here at that deep heart opener. And how can you make this a pose that gathers a sense of well-being in your whole body while you breathe into the pose? And then we're slowly lowering the arms. The feet stay the same. We're going to just open the arms out wide and then even have the fingertips facing backward, really drawing those shoulder blades together and back so we can get even more of an opening at the heart. A few more breaths. And then we're going to bring the hands forward. We're going to make a pillow with our arms and lower the arms onto the upper thigh, releasing our forehead onto that pillow and just resting here on the pillow for a few breaths. As you breathe in, we're going to bring the torso slowly back up, stepping our feet back together, making sure they're hip width apart, and just returning into the mountain pose one more time. Feeling that sense of stillness in the body, integrating the stretch. Shoulders relaxed, melting down and back. And then just relax the arms. We're just going to do a joy practice. We've done this before together, just sort of shaking out the body towards the end of the practice so you can keep your feet grounded and then just begin to bounce from the knee, just shaking out the whole body. As you're doing that, you might want to guide your attention down into your feet. And then up the ankles, shaking out the ankles, the lower legs, the knees, the upper legs, buttocks, lower back, shake, 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 mid back, upper back, and then coming down the upper arms, elbows, lower arms, shaking out the hands in front of the body, maybe circling them around both ways a couple of times, and then back alongside the body, really swinging the arms back and forth, maybe rotating the neck around in a circle a couple of times in each direction, opening and closing the mouth, releasing any tension from there, opening and closing the eyes a couple of times. And then we'll just take another 20 seconds or so to really vigorously shake out the whole body. Just shake out any remaining tension from the body that might have gathered over the course of the day. Maybe a sound wants to release. Whatever feels good. And then let your body slowly come back to stillness. And you might really be able to sense the aliveness here inside of you. What's it feel like on the inside? And in whatever way that serves you, we'll make our way down directly into Shavasana, lying down for our final resting pose. If you feel called somehow to sit more up in a meditation posture, that's also perfectly fine. Whatever serves your well-being. Whatever serves your well-being and whatever final pose that you want to take for relaxation. And just beginning here by feeling the whole back of the body connecting with the mat behind you. Feeling that sense of support. And just using that as an invitation to really relax the body more deeply now. Getting out any last wiggles. Feeling the breath naturally deep and full. Just breathing in its own rhythm, in its own way. Just feeling a sense of softening through the eyes and facial muscles, the neck and the shoulders. Feeling that relaxation traveling down the front of the torso, from the chest, down into the belly, from the upper arms to the lower arms, into the hands. And relaxing down the upper back, the lower back, into the hips, upper legs, lower legs, all the way into the feet. The whole body in a state of deep relaxation. And just letting it all be as it is. Just sitting here, rather lying here, just resting on this earth for a couple more minutes. And for the last moments, just see if you can rest in your own inner goodness. Maybe bringing to mind a positive quality that you share with the world. Just taking in here who you truly are. And from this place of wellness, being in contact with your own inner goodness, just begin by deepening your breath once again. Feeling the body opening and stretching once more, even just by engaging a little bit more deeply with the breath. And you can begin to wiggle fingers and toes. Maybe stretch your arms up overhead, releasing them all the way down on your mat so you can really stretch fingertips away from toes, lengthen your spine, open and bring the body back to aliveness as you hug your knees into your chest, gently rocking from side to side. And then as you rock back to center, you can bring your hands together and feet, rubbing them together, bringing energy and warmth back. And then just letting yourself come down over on one side into a fetal position. Just another moment of resting on the earth, noticing how you feel in this moment. And eventually just press one hand into the ground, lift yourself back up to a seated position. And then we'll just end by folding our hands over the heart center. Again, just touching into our own hearts, feeling the tenderness there, vulnerability. And just coming to a place of peace inside of you with whatever is going on in your life. You can connect with that inner peace that's always there to access. And then we'll just join palms together. Thank you so much for your practice. Namaste. It's always really good to see all of you. I hope you have a beautiful rest of the day and a pleasant weekend ahead. Thank you so much. Hope to see you next week.